What's up, people? Welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about the new balance in War Robots, where we've had certain things get a buff and certain things get a nerf, or perhaps not really a nerf. Let's get into it now. So, first, I will cover the weapons that I'm not going to be showcasing over here. You can see that the Hell Snares Kadis have got quite a bit of a nerf, from damage to the reduced clip and reload time. The Atomizer has got a buff. The Fainter, nobody used, honestly. And the Incinerator, Scorcher, which are kind of the Tet counters, have also got a nerf. So let's take a look at the Rime, Cryo, and Glacier. The short interval, that means the speed of shooting, the entire clip has gone down, while the damage it does has gone down by 40%. The Cryo is the least affected at 32%, and the Glacier a massive 50% less damage. But it is doing that 50% damage in approximately the same in close to half the time, 33% less time. But let's take a look at how this affects the gameplay. Over here, I'm showing you a clip unload of the cryos with my Ravana, and the entire clip unloads in 3.4 seconds. While over here, you can see that the loading itself is around, wow, you have 10 seconds of load time. And during the ability, using it with Ravana's ability, uh, in that ability span of time, you get less than 1/3 of your clip reloaded. So how does this affect the gameplay? As you can see over here, uh, when that Ochokochi came in there, um, we managed to lock him really fast because we're using the paralysis drone, and with each shot it's putting in the lockdown effect. So it's, since the shots are happening faster, it's locking down much faster. But the damage done, as you can see here as well, okay, not right here, the Samjok went into phase shift mode, but we're going to chase him and let's see what kind of damage we do now. The thing about this, now that you're unloading so fast, the cryos having that angle, you got to be perfectly aiming your cryos before you shoot. And remember, you're doing 30% less damage now, so you're not going to be able to go over there and just expect them to, if you've got a little bit of misalignment, you're not doing the damage that you could. Over here, let's take a look again, emptying the whole clip onto the links. You managed to lock it down with the paralysis. The locking down is happening faster, but look at that. Your shots that you're shooting out now, it aren't just, they don't have a bang. Earlier, even earlier, like when you have unloaded and you're just shooting continuously, the damage done wasn't much, and now it's far less. So you've really got to adapt to a new style of playing the Ravana. Honestly, you might have to blink to reload now. You'll have to use your, not blink, I mean you'll have to use your transcendence ability just to reload. And here you can see that other Ravanas are already experimenting with new weapons. This guy is using the quicksand labyrinth on his Ravana, which is kind of funny. See, the only thing now what the cryos are good for is locking down. And it's not just the cryos. Check out that Bagilore there with 4 glaciers. He's shooting the Fenrir, and the Fenrir's health is generating. The Samjok has had a durability increase, which is a buff. The 5 to 7 seconds for the ability, and the turret damage is down by 15%. How is this going to affect the Samjok? Samjok definitely had less health, but 15% more. 15,000 more, which is a 7% boost is going to help. What about the ability timing? It's really going to make a difference, and the turret, which was so annoying, is down by 15%. Let's take a look at this. In this clip here, you can see the ability loading 7 seconds to basically go. And that 7 seconds, if you haven't gotten used to it, this is what's going to happen. But is the Samjok still playable? Can you still do the stuff that you did with the Samjok? In this, I played a couple of games after the nerf, and yes, the Samjok is still very useful. The turret is not doing as much damage, obviously. So the tuning of the playstyle is definitely necessary. Now you're going to be hiding a little bit more. You're going to be waiting for your ability to come in again. So this is definitely a big change. But you can see that it's still possible to do the stuff that you were doing. You know, with the Samjok is a pretty cool bot that way, uh, because it's available for everyone now. And I think we will see fewer Samjoks, to be honest, because it's not going to be, look at that guy, see, 7 seconds. If you don't have your phase shift module in, which I don't use either, you're going to have to plan and strategize some more. But overall, the Samjok still is usable. It has not got a complete nerf, not like how when Mars got nerfed, they completely wiped it out, including turret damage, everything, for all the ability, speed, time. So the Samjok, as you can see, is still usable and is a lovely counter to your meta of the day. So the other part over here is when you see that turret damage drop. It really makes a bit of a difference. So this is where I wanted to show you the turret damage. You know, the turret damage you see used to pull out Aegis shields and things like that pretty fast. Well, it doesn't really work like that anymore. I wanted to basically wipe this dragon out, and unfortunately, no. If I had to place my turret here, pretty much I was sure that it would take out its shield. You can see his shield is reach. I am getting a couple of shots at him with the turret, but you see, with it is now a little more difficult to basically do stuff like this. You know, like leave your Samjog and wipe out the shield and then come back and finish the reds. It is getting difficult, but once you get used to the timing, it's going to be far easier. But look at this, hiding is now, it was always part of Samjog's thing, but now the hide has become longer. Every time you use the ability, the hide is definitely longer. So this is another thing that I could do with the Samjog, is I wanted to test how many bots, like, you know, going to the sword spawn point and killing him after he comes back from uses his ability. So this is basically what, there's 7 seconds load again. So right now you would have been able to phase shift, but you're taking this much damage now because the ability isn't ready. So the 2 seconds definitely make a bigger impact, a big impact. It is definitely thing, because Samjog is a weak bot now. Still powerful when you know how to play it. You don't really, it's not a very difficult bot to play, to be honest. It's just, and now timing has become more important. That's about it. Samjog is always fun to do all these kind of things, you know, go into your enemy spawn point and base. You can, I mean, in the sense it's fun because it is a weak bot, and a spawn point is a dangerous place if you're not a strong bot. So that's what makes it a little bit of fun. And then when it's very easy to get caught like this. Now see, waiting for the phase shift on, but there, that guy Crisis, he wasn't even looking here, and boom. The next is the Gauss and Weber, and I feel that this has been the least of the nerf. If I may say, it feels like it's got a buff. The main thing is the charges have gone down, and that means you're doing 42% less damage, but the reload is up faster by 33%. That's just a difference of 9%, and you have more damage per particle. How does this affect the gameplay? I just wanted to test around. Take a look at the Weber here. And the Weber shooting at top speed, honestly, and this doesn't have any skill on it to make the gun shoot faster. I just want to see that in the load time, as you can see, as well as fast. How did it work in a game? This is a team deathmatch here, and I kind of wanted to see how this would end up. And to be honest, I feel that the Weber and the Gauss family have got a bit of a buff and a nerf at the same time. When I say and a nerf, the first shot that you do where doesn't do as much damage as it was used to before. It did do some god damn, but basically it's taken out that one shot thing, because if you see from 7 to 4 particles is basically you're losing out on 3 times the damage amount of a particle. So your first initial shot is going to be big, but the strange thing is I find myself picking up stacks which are on the right for my nuclear amp a little faster. So see that I find if I shoot something right, the stacks pretty much are going up at a higher pace. I've lost a gun, but more or less I find this to be quite a good playing still well, to be honest, if not better. So I don't really find the Weber Gauss to be a nerf, but it's actually a buff in a way. So this is some of the gameplay with the Weber that I did, now with 4 Webers, but they still pack a punch, to be honest. Also, the Gauss may be a little weaker than this, but I think it's alright so far. So this kind of a rebalance is needed, in the sense that you see that this rebalance, when I'm talking about the Weber, where you don't want to be one-shot killed in a game, right? Especially if it is where you spend so much time building your bots and working on it, and you're going to out with your bot, you just get it out and you get one-shot killed by something, or even losing like over 60-70% of your health. That just doesn't make any sense to me. So this definitely, yes. The Cryo, I found that the Cryo has always been the Ravana Cryo, something that I could counter the Tet with. Now the only thing I can do is basically lock a Tet and use it, make it use an ability. That is it. No chance of killing a Tet at all with the Cryo, or even doing any kind of damage to it, which it used to do. I don't know how the Scorchers are going to do now, but that's basically it. So what I don't like about this nerf is the funny thing that Pixo on the last day or my games has been putting up all these offers selling all the soon to be nerfed weapons. And I pity the people who've gone ahead and bought these, and the next day they realize that, these guys have gone down by 50%, 40%. And the real nerf that had to take place with these two, the Tet and the Sword, they definitely needed a rebalance. I hope you enjoyed this one. Till next time, see you. Bye bye. Take care.